Hi Internet, Oric speaking, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are talking about the DS Delfino square dot cut as well as the double, how to do it, things that you should avoid, and different methods that you could do. Now, I just want to quickly say that this video is being recorded differently compared to all my other tutorials, so it is very possible that I'm going to make a few mistakes. I hope you understand. Alright, to the game. Alright, so first up, the basic DS dot cut. Now this is done by simply drifting and using that mini turbo to wheelie across the grass and make it across the gap. Now it's much easier to do pretty much every dot cut by going on the left path, because the left path makes it so you only need to get one mini turbo. Let me show you what that looks like. So you're gonna get a mini turbo, wheelie, and then you're gonna cut off some grass. You're gonna cut off actually a lot more grass than you might think. And then you're gonna do this ending section here. Now, a little tip for you guys all, when you're coming off of the ramp, you're going to want to go at a more of an angle like this, and less of an angle like this. Because if you go off at an angle like this, let me actually show you, you will get enough air to clear it, but you actually might get too much air, which will make it so your vehicle will fall in between the crack on the dock, which will look something like this. So don't be afraid to cut off quite a bit of grass. As long as you don't get slowed down, you pretty much are good to go. Alright, next up, the spin drift method. Now, I actually have a friend who's a competitive player, and he gets super pissed off whenever people call it the spin drift method, because you actually don't need the spin drift. People just call it the spin drift method because it's easier to do with the spin drift. It's not necessary. So this is done in case if the cut is blocked by primarily a fib or a well-placed nano. You're gonna go around the dock and you're gonna jump. You're gonna mini turbo and jump. Now, I like the spin drift because it makes it a little bit safer, but you don't have to spin drift, you could just hop across. Another method that you could use in case the cut is blocked, but maybe the cut is not blocked so well, is the kart method. Now, the kart method is kind of the opposite of the spin drift method. You're going to jump across the grass, so you're going to be taking an even tighter line, and then you're going to land on the ramp and trick. This is what it looks like. You're going to get a drift, and then you're going to jump and then hop. Again, even though this is called the kart method, it's very useful and universal for bikes as well, as more people are more comfortable doing this method in case the cut is blocked compared to the spin drift method. Now, the last thing that you need to know when it comes to the DS dock is once you land, most people take this last turn a little bit too wide, and then they would end up hitting these market stands on the side. So the way to avoid that is by starting your drift a little bit earlier, taking a little bit more aggressive line, so instead of being parallel to the road, you're going to want to be at a slight angle, kind of like this. Then you're going to start your drift a little bit earlier, and then hold bottom right or top right to soft drift when you go over the hump. That way you'll stick to the ground a little bit better, and hopefully make the turn a little bit easier. This is what it looks like. Also, in case if you forget to go on the left path, you could do it on the right path as well. You just get another drift, chain, and then right up and over. It's doable with the right path, it's just a little bit harder. Alright, moving along, let's talk about the DS double. Now, I know I don't have the best track record when it comes to the DS double.
He's going between the trees, he tricks, he's airborne, he just barely, no, he hits the wall!
I hit the wall. So I guess you're just gonna have to trust me that I know what I'm talking about here. So there's two ways to do the double. One is by going inside of the tree, and the other is going by outside of the tree. You're going to need at least 2 shrooms for this. However, you could do it with a golden or star, and I believe you could do it with a mega as well. It's much harder though. So for starting all the way back here, you're gonna start quite wide, and then you're gonna take a really tight line, go in between the trees, shroom, and then you're gonna get 2 drifts inside of the mud. So this is what it looks like. My God. You'll get too many turbos inside of the mud cut because of the way that the shortcut's shaped. Alright, next, the alternative method, which is basically the same thing, except that you don't go in between the 2 trees. Now this method is surprisingly much harder, because you need to get a pretty straight alignment here. And then the alignment is pretty rough after that. By the way, in case if you get a rough alignment like what I did, stopping there right before the second part of the shortcut and realigning might be helpful. Now there's really not too much to troubleshoot when it comes to doing the double. The most difficult part is making sure that you get the right alignment so that you could go inside of the second part of the shortcut. Like, perfect example actually, when I messed up the shortcut on TWD98 shortcut challenge. That's a perfect example of the most common pitfalls that people have when doing the DS double. And unfortunately, there's no real fix for that. You just need to practice that until you get a feel of how the map is laid out and how your alignments are. Alright, I hope that's helpful to you guys. Let me know in the comments below what shortcut you want me to cover next. What strat, tutorial, whatever the case might be, and I might just do it. And once again, thank you guys so very much for watching. Be sure to do the YouTube stuff on your way out. That's like, commenting, subscribing. Also, a lot of you guys are missing out on a lot of bonus content over on my Twitch stream. I stream every Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays, all things relating to Mario Kart Wii. So if you guys want more Mario Kart Wii content, be sure to go and check that out. Thank you once again very much for watching, and I will see you. Bye-bye. Also, one more thing. Wait. One more thing that I really need to ask you guys. Do you guys prefer an input viewer or a hand cam? Or both? Let me know in the comments below. I want to know what your preference is. I could do both. I could do either. I could do one or the other. It doesn't matter to me. Just let me know which one you would prefer. Alright?